Welcome to this episode of the PA System. On this episode, I'm talking with Gigi Sabbat about her new anthology that she's launching, Healing and Growth, Inspiring Stories of Transformation. Welcome to the show, Gigi.
Such an honor to be here today, Pamela.
Such a joy, and I'm so excited to talk about this today because as a co-author, it's been super fun to watch this all come together and to hear some of people's stories and just to see what an incredible project this has become. So tell us a little bit about how you got the idea for this and then how it all came together.
Absolutely. Great question. So essentially the idea came from God, and that's just me being transparent there. And so essentially when we get quiet, we can hear him. And so it's so important to remain still and to listen to him. And so I'll never forget, he led me to write Healing and Growth. And essentially, I'm grateful for all of the co-authors of the book. And so each of you, I truly believe, divine intervention, God led each of you to be a part of the book.
Oh, I just love that so much. And really this topic, it's just, I mean, no surprise that God gave it to you. It's so timely. There's a lot going on in the world. So what do you feel like this has really meant to you and to the authors to create an anthology like this?
Absolutely. Well, a lot happened behind the scenes. I think that's another great question. A lot has been going on behind the scenes. And I think a lot of hands have been put on this book and a lot of heart. And essentially, I'm grateful for each and every one of the co-authors, including yourself, who have really, really went deep. And each and every one of you have really had to circle back to when you were stuck, or your pain, or when you've experienced pain. And so that takes a lot of courage. And so I commend each and every one of you for coming forward with your stories.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, just an extraordinary group of people. And this whole idea of growth and healing, I mean, I think it's so important. I mean, really to separate those two out, because the growth is kind of like we were discussing earlier. It's sort of the personal piece of it, the process that you go through, right? But then the healing is like this divine intervention that sort of guides you along the way. And I think to me, that's sort of what's so beautiful about a book like this, is that we can all read these stories and relate to them in one way or another, because we've all sort of gone through these journeys. But at the same time, we often find ourselves in another place where it's like, oh, wait, I have more growing to do, or I have more healing to do. And to know that like we're on this journey together.
That's right. We're on this journey together. You hit it on the nail. It takes a team. It takes an army. And so Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I truly believe that it takes an army to do so. And so it's not just the co-authors. It's also the folks who are going to read this book. You all are the change. You all are God's servant leaders. Never forget it.
That's so beautiful too. And I mean, talk to us a little bit more about that. I mean, what does that really mean? To be a servant leader?
Great question. So essentially, we need to remember that we are the children of God. And as God's children, we're called to serve his people. And so what I really, really love about Healing and Growth as well is that it takes folks on the journey to really understand that healing is out of our control. God has the power to heal. And so once we understand that and you really get in tune with that, it takes you back to remember whose you are. You are the children of God. And so when we let go and we let God, we understand that he has the power to heal.
You know, I have to tell you, I mean, this takes me to a story that I heard recently from a friend of mine about a woman they know who's a missionary. And she was given this vision of these different storehouses, these different places where things were stored up by God. And she would find things like limbs, you know, where people had lost limbs and they would actually get a limb restored, things of this nature. And I don't think we think in those terms, right? We tend to be like, well, can you just help me get over this flu, or, you know, or keep me from catching the next little bug or what have you. But it's so much bigger than that.
Absolutely. This is a spiritual journey that we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this message today, healing and growth, it's a spiritual journey. And so I encourage you to grab your copy and as you read the book, really read the chapters one by one and really get in tune with what the authors are saying and really listen in to how they got unstuck and how you can do. And not just that, really go through each chapter. And once you, by the end of the book, you will understand the spiritual journey and what it really means to heal and grow.
I love it. And I think it's really, it's about our understanding, right? It's about our understanding of what that means, but also like our connection to the divine. What does it really look like to be in relationship with God? You know, to have access to that sort of divine healing, and to even maybe no one's ever told our audience that this is a reality. Maybe they've never even heard that God can heal them.
That's right. But they're hearing it today, and they will understand it as well once they get through the book. And so I encourage you again to grab your copy and also to join us on December 1st for our book launch celebration. That is an event you do not want to miss. We would be more than happy to have you there.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think this is going to be such a beautiful experience for people. It's really an opportunity for them to, like you said, sit down with this book, get quiet, and just have some moments with God and soak up whatever he wants to say to them through this book.
That's right. And everyone's journey is truly unique. And so it's so important to understand as you read those chapters, all of the co-authors' journeys have been truly unique, just like yours. If you're listening to this message today, your journey is unique. Your healing and growth journey is unique. And
that gives me chills.
As you are.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, every person that reads this book is going to take away something a little bit different from it. And how extraordinary is that? There's actually a God that loves us that personally, right? That talks to us that personally, that knows us like exactly for who we are. And we'll get the exact message that we need to get from this book. So is there anything else that you would like to share with the listeners before we sort of wrap things up and share a little bit of the bios and the stories from some of the authors who just wanted to share their thoughts as we wrap up?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I'm grateful for you, Pamela, and I'm grateful for the co-authors of the book as well. Each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I also appreciate our readers, and a lot of gratitude to each and every one of you. God chose each and every one of you to be a part of the book. And so whatever number it may be, right? No, it's not relevant. The number.
That's right.
What does matter is each and every one of you. Each and every one of you beautiful souls who, again, the courage that you all have to really come forward about your stories, that's not easy. So I commend each and every one of you, and I appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just encouraging. You know, I just want people to know that, you know, I mean, you could spend weeks and weeks going through all of these stories, and I think it would be well worth your time to do so. And I think that was part of the joy and fun of all of us putting this together, was for this to really be that kind of a resource for people. You know, and it is, you know, it's extraordinary. So with that, I just want to thank you, Gigi, for coming on with me and sharing your heart and, you know, just being here to tell us about this incredible book.
You're welcome. It's been an honor. God bless you.
Bless you as well.
I'm ex-BBC journalist and comic self-help author C.J. Grace. So, what were the 6 things I did to help me deal with the double whammy of discovering my husband's infidelity and then getting breast cancer for the 2nd time? And why did I give up wearing a bra? And what made me choose lumpectomies rather than mastectomies? You'll find out by reading My Wild Ride Through Breast Cancer and Infidelity Made Me Stronger and Happier. That's the chapter I wrote for Gigi Sabbat's amazing Healing and Growth Anthology. Get yourself a copy now.
Hello, I can't wait for you to read this book, Healing and Growth. I really admire Gigi for putting it together. I'm Kellen Flukiger, and I contributed a chapter to this book titled I'm Just Nobody. And it details my decades of struggling through depression without getting help. And finally, I was offered a divine invitation. I accepted it and was able to change my life. And for the last 15 years, I've done nothing but help people discover who they really are and connect with their authentic selves. I'm grateful to Gigi for doing this work, and I just can't wait to see how all these stories change your life and help you create joy.
When you think of a leader, what comes to mind? What are some of the traits that leaders have? Do you consider yourself a leader? When we identify someone that we are or someone that we're not, that will affect the way we lead our lives. Hi, my name is Michelle Gelfand. I'm a holistic, results-oriented life coach and speaker, and I'm honored to be one of the co-authors of the book Healing and Growth, led by the visionary Regeline Gigi Sabbat. I invite you to pre-order the book to be inspired by the many transformational stories, and through my chapter, Lead with the Power of Words. Learn how your perception of leadership may hinder you from becoming one, and get some practical tools to change some limiting beliefs into empowering ones. So don't miss our book launch on December 1st, 2022, and lead your life to the next chapter.
Why do so many people try to escape their reality? 1 in 3 in Western societies are chemically addicted, which means we try to escape with the help of drugs, alcohol, and so often behaviors that we are not very proud of. I'm Stefan Neff. I'm an anesthetist, a doctor, a author, speaker, show host, and I was exactly that person. I had no idea how to deal with my trauma, and so I did the next best thing and tried to drown it in industrial amounts of alcohol. Guess what? It didn't work. But I had to learn the lessons the hard way, and I've had the chance to write about that in my chapter here at Healing Grove, the beautiful book of Gigi Sabbat that is coming out on the 1st of December. So guys, if you want to know a bit more about my story and see my transformation and my post-traumatic growth, well, get a copy of the book. It's an amazing book with lots of beautiful stories of transformation. And please, there is so much hope out there that you can change. I know you can. And maybe you just need that little bit of a spark. And I'm sure that reading these beautiful stories, including mine, you will find maybe that hope, and maybe we can be the light in the darkness for you. Look after yourself.
We all have those moments in our life where it just feels like we've been knocked down. How are we possibly going to get back up? But we can, and we will. We're not defined by our circumstances. We just have to take that step and get back up. Sometimes it takes grabbing the hand that's reaching out for you. And I talk about my many different tribulations and challenges in my life in the chapter that I had the honor to be a part of to write within the book, Healing and Growth. I want to thank Gigi for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful collaboration. I'm Erin Bear, and I'm an author, speaker, and coach. I talk about the elephants in the room, how to confront them, and really become the person you're meant to be, completely unscripted and authentically you. Thank you for picking this book up, and I hope that you find inspiration within all the stories that these ladies and men share so openly, and they show you the real and raw side of their life story. When you're finished reading this book, I hope you feel inspired and you're empowered, but then you take this book and you gift it to somebody else that can find inspiration within the pages.
Greetings and hello from Dr. Amber Ann Lyons, the CEO and founder of From Pain to Purpose Incorporated, located in Stone Mountain, Georgia, USA. I'm so excited to be able to say thank you to Rageline Gigi Sabbat as the visionary of the Healing and Growth book, Inspiring Stories for Massive Transformation, and to be able to be a contributing author of a couple of chapters, one entitled Passionately Pursuing Purpose Amidst Pandemic. Look, we know that we have all been through quite a time over these past several years with the COVID-19 pandemic, but we're still standing, and we've been able to glean some things that we can share with you all. So get your book, join us at our launch, and we will thank you for your support. And again, thank you for this opportunity. Smooches.